We
Basically, I'm sure more people will join, but I'm working on so many things right now. But I'm getting the Matic wallet working super well, and it's been really fun.
what's the give me the TLDR on why that's important.
So you can go and see this wallet I built, this app I built. It's at wallet.0xbtc.io,
Yeah, look at this.
and what it lets you do is it lets you move or bridge tokens from the Ethereum mainnet to the Matic proof of stake, proof of authority sidechain.
Okay, yeah. I looked at this yesterday. That's cool.
Yeah, and so the Matic network works just like the Ethereum network, but the gas fees are obviously extremely low. So it has as much bandwidth as Ethereum mainnet, but no one's using it.
What's different with Matic than like XDAI or like POA? What's the difference between those?
As far as I can tell, they're really similar. They're like competing side chains that are really trying to do the same thing.
Gotcha.
Solidity works on all of them for the most part, I think. Although, maybe the way they're doing consensus is a little bit different.
Interesting. Yeah.
I'd have to read a little bit more about XDAI. I think so. Some of them may not be able to let you run EVM code.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But like smart contracts. Yeah. But it looks like XDAI does let you run smart contracts, and it looks like the Matic also lets you run smart contracts. So people are deploying like Uniswap clones on Matic right now, and probably on XDAI too. And now I'm deploying this other contract called the Tipping Jar to Matic, and it's just it's just like a vault. You can lock tokens in it, and then the owner of the contract can move them around and reassign who is the owner of those tokens. And then at any time you can pull out the tokens that belong to you. And so the idea of that is like the Discord bot will be in charge of the wallet or the account that's in control of that contract. So the Discord bot can control everyone's funds essentially. So it is like centralized in that way. So you wouldn't want to put like too many funds in it. But we'll have like small amount of funds in this wallet in the smart contract on the Matic chain. And when you run a command in Discord, the bot will execute a Matic transaction that will reassign the owner of the tokens in the smart contract to somebody else. And as long as everyone in the Discord has an Ethereum account that's tied to their Discord name, then the bot will know which accounts to move, like from where to the from here to there. And so now that is the case because now that same bot allows you to create burner wallets in the Discord. So you use the command like !wallet space new. It'll create you a wallet and it DMs you the private key.
I made one yesterday. Yeah, I got it. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, hey Tofu, what's up? We're just talking about. Oh, you're muted. That's fine. We're just talking about the Matic and how I'm building a tipping bot that uses the Matic network, so we can send 0xBTC to each other in the Discord and pay basically zero fees to send tips to each other. That'll be really cool. And then when you want to claim your tokens, you just use the wallet.0xbtc.io, and you will be able to move them back to the Ethereum mainnet. Or anybody else can. And because anybody else can, you could just leave them on the Matic network and the price will be tied. Because just the fact that somebody could move them back over at any time pegs the price.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so there'll be basically, I'm sure, a lot of tokens on the Matic network. But what's really interesting about this token, because it's neutral, it works really well with others, or it makes a lot of sense to have it on side chains. because it doesn't depend on anything that's on the main net. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't lose any of its properties when you move it to a different chain. Like, for example, I don't know. I guess other tokens may not either. But a token that was tied to a more of a centralized system may not work as well on a side chain with that centralized system.
Interesting. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
What like is there a reason why you chose Matic, or is it just because they have they're the most advanced for this so long, or as far as that goes?
Yeah, it seems like they are the most sophisticated. One of the most sophisticated. They have developers that are really responsive and really like on the ball. And they did go through a lot of testnet iterations, like 3 at least testnet iterations. So I'm not like I would use other side chains for sure, but this one jumped out at me. Matic jumped out at me kind of the most, and I think also IC Insight kind of introduced me to it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
And they do have a really nice JavaScript library that makes it really easy to bridge tokens for those JavaScript functions. And I had to like hack it a little bit, or like write some of my own code to kind of like tie it up with MetaMask well, because there wasn't. But anyways, I got it working with MetaMask really well. So that's really, really cool. Now that we can move tokens to Matic, we can deploy smart contracts for like 1 cent and do transactions for less than 1 cent. So now I can build things like tipping bots. I can build things like IC Insight wants to build NFT marketplace on Matic. Like, hey, there he is, Peak the Devil. And we can just build a lot more things because now it costs way less to do. So that's really exciting. We don't have to wait till ETH 2.0.
Right.
And then the other thing I was working on, besides this the sidechain and Matic thing, is I was looking at how we could incentivize pooling 0xBTC liquidity on, for example, Uniswap. So, and make it easier to pool liquidity on Uniswap as well, because it's kind of complicated, right? So what I did was two things. One of them was I made a token that has a specific name and kind of like brand associated with it that is a wrapper for the LP liquidity pool token that represents the pool for 0xBTC to ETH on Uniswap. And that token, the emoji for it, since they all need an emoji, is a Space Invader, and the token name is going to be Invader. I'm gonna build a dApp on Invader.finance, and basically it'll allow you to really easily convert. For the sort of cool thing is it lets you convert your 0xBTC to ETH LP tokens to Invader at a 1 million to 1 rate, and then you convert them back at a 1 to 1 million rate. So it's just like a 1-to-1 mutation contract, really simple. What's cool about that though is that now that there's a token that has a specific name associated with it, that can be listed on an exchange like Fork Delta or Uniswap itself. So then other people can buy the Invader token or sell the Invader token, and it will trade at a specific price per token. And then if you buy and hold that token, then over time you'll earn the fees, the Uniswap trading fees, associated with that pool, because it literally is the LP token for that Uniswap pool. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I'm just listening.
Yeah. So that way there will be a token with a specific name that you can just easily buy on an exchange that represents pooled liquidity for 0xBTC. And And then you can now the really cool thing, the step 2 that I did was I made this all even easier. I wrote a smart contract and figured out the Solidity code that basically does a zap. Or like, have you ever heard of like Zapper.fi?
Yeah.
Anybody? Yeah. So what a zap is you can basically run one method or like click one button, and it'll take a token like 0xBTC. It'll convert half of it to the counterparty asset like WETH or ETH or whatever. And then it will take those two assets. Yet now you have like a bit of 0xBTC and a bit of WETH, and it will put them into the liquidity pool, mint a liquidity token, and this is all in one method, mind you. And then what I also did is it will take that LP token, turn it into an Invader token, and then give it to you. So what that basically means is there's a single Solidity call that you can make that will take your 0xBTC and turn it into Invader. And then there's another method that takes your Invader and turns it into 0xBTC. But there's a lot that's going on because when your 0xBTC is locked up to become Invader, it's being locked up in Uniswap's liquidity pool and actually being traded against. And then, so it's literally a yield farming token. So Invader is a yield farming token of 0xBTC. And it'll be really, so you can basically put your 0xBTC to work. You go to Invader.finance, click that button, stake your 0xBTC with one click. Now it's earning yields. And then when you're ready, you hit another button, unstake your 0xBTC, and then you get back hopefully more 0xBTC. It depends on the price changes in the Uniswap and how much trading volume there was. But usually it'll be a lot more, usually. Especially if you wait longer, you'll get more on the average because of the fees and trading fees.
Yeah, that sounds really cool, dude.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to be a DApp where you can lock up your 0xBTC to get more of it, like really easily. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I would love to do something with my 0xBTC.
But then those are all my ideas so far. I'm sure I could come up with more. Now that we have Matic, there's the tipping bot and the bridge. So far it seems like this wallet that I built is the best DApp for bridging assets between Matic and Ethereum, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
But what is everyone else working on? What do you all think?
Well,
I guess I know. Does IC Insight want to give us some insight on what are you doing on Matic exactly?
So yeah, I'm working on the swap thingy, of course, and then later maybe doing NFTs there. That's pretty much the plan. But in general, I'm also working on Kiwi, as you know. So, and there's quite a lot of growth just because of the promotion we are doing, all the promotional stuff that actually works, interestingly. So I think that's something we could do a little bit more. It doesn't cost much, all these EMAs. It's like a $50 and you get a lot of exposure. And it's, something to think about.
I guess, how do you deal with the high gas fees when you're gifting people tokens and doing those promotions?
Yeah, well, nowadays we have this off-chain Kiwi wallet, web wallet, and then of course now there's the Matic option.
Right.
That helps.
Yeah, that's actually really genius. Yeah. So now that the 0xBTC Matic wallet exists, I guess that can be the case. So you know what I could do? I could add Kiwi to the 0xBTC Matic wallet. It's if you'd like, it's wallet.0xbtc.io.
Yeah, as we know, Kiwi is a sibling and very much respectful to the elder brother. So yeah, that would be nice.
Cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, if your wallet could be, there would be a drop down for maybe some other reasonable tokens that might be good for getting audience and adoption.
I should do something where there's some sort of an event where we ask people what tokens they want to be added to that wallet, I guess. I don't really want to charge people for it, but it could come to that.
Yeah, I wonder at what point in time Matic gets their own token bridge working. And
Well,
that
I mean, they do have theirs for sure, but they're not very quick to add tokens to it. That's the big problem. So
yeah, mainstream only, big time tokens.
yeah, I guess you know what I could probably do. I could allow you to put in custom addresses on the front end.
Like in Uniswap.
Right. Yeah. That could be interesting. But then I wonder how I would save them. Maybe I could like save it as a cookie or something. I don't know. We'll see. It's a good idea. I'll have to write that down.
In general, I think this is a new beginning with the sidechain and everything. Like the main is pretty much done. Like this, it's not fun any longer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is really exciting. And now I'm not saying Matic's going to be like the sidechain that takes over, but there's going to be something. And this is obviously if it's whatever is the big sidechain, it's going to be it'll work just like Matic. So it's good to get our feet wet with this right now. And what's also really cool, I guess, is I don't know. This bridge works really well. I guess. One thing I noticed was this is not cool. The Block Scout, like the Explorer they're using, it doesn't really support like connecting to MetaMask fully. So you can't. I think I told you this. You can't do like write contract methods using their Explorer right now. It's not. It doesn't like Etherscan does now, but theirs does not. So you have to just do everything yourself, like custom in JavaScript. You have to build dApps for every single method you want to call. You can't just cheat and do stuff in the Explorer, but it's not that bad. It just takes a little more time to write dApps for everything.
Right. Maybe it's really fun to build stuff, but now there's a growing number of projects migrating to Matic, and I think we should sell the idea of using 0x Bitcoin.
Yeah,
projects.
For sure.
Yeah.
I wonder how we could do that more. So, I mean, it's really good that it got on the Matic swap. That's really nice. But I agree, it just fits really well. It's not only it's a neutral, pure mined coin. It should be used by all these services. It's totally trustless. It's like the perfect currency for these networks. It's the people's currency.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of marketing exercise.
Yeah.
I don't think that's our strength.
Right, for sure. That's not my strength at all. I would rather code than do marketing. But like giveaways or promotions would be really cool, especially I saw Restfinix did that one today where they were giving out ETH to people who tweeted #mineable tokens. So that's pretty neat. That's like a good example of promotional activity, and it's kind of crazy that an exchange is doing that. That's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
So should we somehow organize a marketing team or something? Because these AMAs are really easy to organize if you like use $50, $100 worth of tokens, and you get 1,000 people listening your message. So that,
Wow, you can get that many? Jeez.
yeah,
Like what platform? Like Twitter?
it's mostly on Telegram. There's a
Oh.
blockchain revolution. It's very popular and it's really reasonable. It's not like a rip off anything. I like that quite a lot.
Huh. I don't. Okay. Blockchain Revolution. So it's like a group.
Yeah, I can post a link a moment.
Very interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I think any mineable token. Well, mineable tokens need to work together. Obviously, there's going to be some that are going to be less. I don't know. There's going to be any token that's lying too much. We're not going to. We don't condone lying behavior. But any good-willed mineable token, we all need to stick together and work together to spread EIP 918 to Ethereum. Kind of.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I think the issues in the past of, like you said, unhonest, bad actors, trying to just in it for the hype, just trying to make a quick pump and dump. I think those are the tokens you have to watch out for. Ones that are maybe they're just an exact clone and they don't really solve another problem. They just, it's just somebody deployed a contract, spam the crap out of it, and then now, they mined a bunch really early and then they're going to dump. I think that's the only issue. But right now, mining is tough right now, mining tokens. So.
Oh, yeah. Mining tokens right now is really tough with the gas fees. It's getting a little bit better now because it's gone down to like 100 GUI, but yeah.
Is there some way to where you can put them like a contract you can make to where you can use the proof of work on Matic network, but somehow you'll be able to mint 0x Bitcoin on the main chain? Or is there like a pool that you could do, like something separate, like sort of advertisement sort of thing,
Yeah.
like a giveaway almost? I don't know.
Well, so I thought about I thought about that a lot. It's absolutely impossible to mint 0x Bitcoin without spending Ether in gas with the normal gas fees that the nodes broadcast. It's absolutely impossible. I should say nodes require.
Yeah.
What
if it was a marketing ploy, like where you got people to donate tokens to a pool, and then you can mine that on the? I mean, just to spread awareness, even they could.
Yeah, you can do that. That's a cool idea. Okay, so interesting.
Yeah. Like people who have 0x Bitcoin already and they want to market it, maybe a way they can do is donate it to to this pool.
Yeah. Well, we had an idea like that. It was called the Token Quarry.
Yeah.
If you recall.
I do, yeah.
So you could make like a token quarry on Matic Network and then let people mine it.
Mm-hmm.
As a promotion, I guess. Huh. What would be the purpose?
Get that to work.
It would be fun.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah. That would be
proof of concept. It just kind of like the idea sounds great. It's just not enough for me to run with yet.
Yeah. It's half developed.
Mm.
Huh.
So it just needs a little more brainstorming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll try to help any way I can.
All right.
How's my audio? It wasn't working at all for
it's
a while.
It's working now. You're good.
That sounds good.
Thanks.
Yeah, I guess Yeah, I don't know how to think about that more. But anyways.
I did have a random idea of we could say you use something like Lava Wallet style relayers to send mints. and you paid them in the 0x Bitcoin that they get when they.
Yeah, they call that meta transaction. They call that meta transactions.
Because you could use something like
You would have
Matic
to
to like
invest in the
actually
pool
send
for
the
the mint take
information
cost,
around.
basically.
Go ahead.
So like somebody invest in the pool basically ahead of time, and that would help pay for the minting costs.
Yeah, you could load a pool too, but I'm kind of thinking like as long as it's profitable, as long as it costs less than 50 to pay the gas, then your meta transaction could do a swap and then pay the relayer and then submit the mint, and you would get some tiny fraction of that if it's high gas. You'd still get something. And
Yeah.
then you
Like,
could
the relayer's not
you could use
available,
something
then
like
you just kind of have to wait.
yeah, and you could use something like Matic to send the actual information, like the fact that you have something that needs to be relayed. That could be on Matic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So cheap.
So I should say that Matic works really well with meta transactions because of the way they did it. Basically, on Matic, whenever every ERC20 token as it exists on Matic, the contract is actually not the same contract as it is for the token on mainnet. It's like a standard ERC20 like stub contract. So when you port 0x Bitcoin from mainnet into Matic, it's just like on Matic, it's just a normal ERC20 token. It doesn't have the mint method at all, which is obviously very good because it would be really goofy and wouldn't really work well if it did have the mint method on Matic, right? So,
Yeah, that's not what I mean.
and when
You have a PC linking the two, a centralized relayer dude, relaying the chains.
yeah, and I guess there's one more part. This stub contract they use for ERC20 tokens by default has methods for meta transactions. So basically, if someone built a generic ERC20 token meta transaction DApp for Matic, every single ERC20 token would work out of the box with it on Matic because every token on Matic supports meta transactions. Which is doubly badass because on Ethereum mainnet to get 0x Bitcoin to support meta transactions, remember we had to convert it into a Lava token? Well, on Matic, it automatically is a Lava token. Basically, which means all that means is it automatically has the right methods for allowing someone else to spend it on your behalf if they have your personal sign. Which is like hella cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good idea. That's a huge deal. So actually, that is very true. One of the things we should look at is meta transactions for tokens on Matic. I could actually just port a lot of the code from Lava Wallet and reuse it, maybe. And like, obviously, I know all the theory behind it. So yeah. I was thinking about making this tipping bot work on meta transactions, but I don't know. It's kind of right now the 1.0 is not going to do that. It doesn't, because theoretically, if you did that, then the bot would never have control of your funds, which would be cool. But the downside is every time you wanted to tip someone, you'd have to like use a DApp to generate a signature and then paste the signature in Discord, which would be like kind of annoying. So now what we really need is we need Discord to have a MetaMask plugin. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. But that would be like the most badass thing in the world.
Well, they've been
Yeah, I mean a
they've
stopgap
been-
might be some like auto-hotkey script. Just like have people install it and you just hit a hotkey to paste in your signature or something. Or your signed. I gotta think about that one. That'd make it easier. It's super hacky though. Tell people to install auto-hotkey.
Sorry, I had a hard time hearing you. What was that? Put headphones on.
Oh, just basically making like a macro style thing. using AutoHotkey to do what you're talking about. It like reads the challenge, signs it, and pastes it back into Discord. But that's
Oh,
still
So, like,
not a very
people would
like,
have to
it's
install
nerdy
that
to tell
as-
people to install.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
that's
install
pretty
AutoHotkey.
sketch.
Yeah.
For
Discord's
now,
got this
right.
bot API that they've been apparently doing a lot of work on lately, and maybe it would have some functionality that could help with the integration.
Something I've really wanted them to do is let you do self-bot stuff, like let you run bot code on your own account. That would do that. That would let
Oh
you do
yeah,
that.
they've
Yeah,
got
that would allow us to do that. Yeah.
But they don't. They don't. That's just against their terms of service, so they'll ban you for that.
Not that people don't do it. We have to deal with the consequences of that crap.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is it doesn't stop the criminals, only the good guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, weird how that works, right?
So I guess we just have to think about what would be the
Yeah, and
easiest and the
there's-
most newbie-friendly way to be able to just get the data in and out of Discord, so that it feels. I mean, maybe not
Yeah.
as seamless as MetaMask, but I mean,
Yeah.
we could still definitely have something that's only a few clicks.
True. I mean, for now, I'm definitely going ahead and doing the centralized wallet, and making that a thing. But yeah, if we want to have like large sums of money in it, we'll probably want to do something like you're talking about, like a good way to macro. Or...
Yeah, or some app that snaps a QR code that a bot sends you. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like your app on your phone has the keys. But it's
That'd be good. Solo
Not
was talking
ideal.
about he wanted to do some kind of, I guess, Android or iPhone app for 0xBTC.
yeah, I was thinking like an app that literally just when it sees a QR code, it signs it and pastes it into
Oh.
DMs.
You know, that's also a big audience, smartphones and tablets and so forth. I mean, just being in the app marketplace under like Ethereum related applications, that's good exposure too.
Yeah, now that we have side chains, it makes even more sense. You could actually make something like Venmo, but on Matic.
Someone
As
actually
long as
Telegram about like why we don't try to use 0xBTC as one of the potential solutions for Ethereum scalability in the short term. Like, why don't we market it that way? I mean, if we could actually find a good way to make that a utility and not just be like,
just be money.
yeah, I mean, we don't want to have like a token like with nothing attached to, like, yeah, I'm not saying it is that. I'm saying like there's a bunch of ICO tokens that you don't really need to use their services.
Right.
So it's like if it could be integrated in such a way that it's seamless, that it's
So
not,
for example, it is theoretically possible that so let's say Chainlink oracles are using Link to incentivize each other to like pay, buy and sell data for oracles. Theoretically, you could use any currency to buy and sell, or to pay for that service. So, but stuff like that, basically. Yeah, it'd be good to get integrated into things like that.
Yeah,
make
could
it an
you use
option.
meta transactions to send gas using 0x Bitcoin? Just make a wallet that's arguably Matic's not the best currency, so you could be like, oh, use Matic, but not with a garbage gas token.
Actually, yes, you can do that with meta transactions, like we talked about, and even the Matic developer said that that's very possible, and I believe it because the token has meta transaction methods on it.
do they have a Discord? Where do the developers hang out?
Yeah, Matic. Yeah, they do.
This
It's
might
really
be
easy to
too
find.
generic, but could you make this might be way too out there. Could you make a MetaMask for Matic that uses 0x Bitcoin instead of Matic?
Yeah.
Because you'd be
but
wrapping
I guess-
everything in meta transactions. I don't know if you can just, without deploying a contract for every transaction, would that work?
You're saying spin up a network?
No, more
Yeah.
like it's like it's a fork of MetaMask for Matic,
So a
that
phone
when you
app
wanna
or a
sign a
browser
transaction.
plugin?
Oh,
Yeah,
a fork of
and when you sign
MetaMask for
something.
Matic.
Yeah,
If
and when
you
you sign
can't just switch
something,
the
it
RPC, that won't
uses.
do it, right?
Well, it would still be using Matic, their RPCs, but when you
Or
go
would
to
it be
like sign
compatible
a
on its own?
transaction, it wraps your transaction in something that converts some 0x Bitcoin to Matic, and then it does the transaction. So like ultimately, you basically end up paying for it in 0x Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And the
Well-
Invader token's one-to-one swappable with 0xBTC, so I mean, I guess essentially you
No.
wouldn't need an additional token. It could all
Well,
be
So
under
let
one
me.
umbrella.
That's actually not true. That's actually not true. Invader
Okay.
token is not one-to-one swappable with ZeroXBTC at all. This.
When it's brought over to the mainnet, it becomes 0xBTC, right? It's a mutation kind of thing.
So there's two totally different things. The 0xBTC on Matic is just called 0xBTC on Matic, or we could refer to it as M0xBTC or something like that.
Okay.
But when I was talking about this concept of a token called Invader, that's completely different. It has nothing to do with Matic. It's only on the mainnet. And basically the way that works is the Invader token, all it is a one-to-one swap with the LP token for the Uniswap pool for 0xBTC to WETH.
So after then, you then enter that.
Sorry, what was that? You're kind of cutting out.
When you get that token, then that's your stake in the liquidity pool, right?
Yeah. So
Okay,
I mean,
great. I missed that part of the conversation.
yeah. It was earlier on. So what I've done is just tokenized and branded the LP token for that pool, the 0xBTC, that WETH pool on Uniswap. And it's really just like a branding maneuver, like a marketing maneuver, basically. But now that that token has a name, Invader, we can put it on exchanges, and it'll have a floating price on the market, and that way, someone without knowing anything about Uniswap could just buy, or without wanting to invest in 0xBTC or WETH directly, and they could just buy the Invader token from somebody else. And what they're really doing is they're buying an LP token for the liquidity pool for 0xBTC to WETH. And they can hold on to that, and then while they hold on to that, they're earning the fees, essentially, that are going on in the trades on Uniswap.
Cool if we could integrate these two concepts together and just kind of, like the meta transactions and the layer 2 staking mechanic. Like they could both be parts of the same software, basically, or the same set of software. Like there might be a phone app, there might be a
bridge
app you're
bridge
running
Invader.
or use MetaMask with, or a
Yeah.
MetaMask.
Yeah, you could bridge the LP token, the Invader token, to Matic, and then put it on Matic Swap, and people can buy and sell it on there. And then what I want to do is basically have a DApp that will calculate an estimated price for an Invader token, which is basically the LP token, and there already are a lot of dApps that do that, but basically for different LP tokens. But it'll tell you, like, if you were to unpool this liquidity token right now on Uniswap, here's what you'd get. This is the dollar value of what you get. And that'd be really cool.
Hopefully be more than you put in initially.
Right. And exactly. And interestingly enough, let's say you had like X amount of 0xBTC just sitting in your wallet, right?
Yeah. So you want
let's say
for you.
It's doing nothing. It's doing nothing for you. Let's say you pooled it into the liquidity pool, and then let's say the price of the 0xBTC goes up. Well, then the LP token may be worth less, because if it goes up significantly, it could be worth less because you'll have more ETH and less 0xBTC in there. But you'll also be gaining all the fees associated with it. But then let's say the price of 0xBTC goes down, and then the price of ETH, with respect to the price of ETH, then when you go to convert that LP token back into 0xBTC, you could very well end up with more 0xBTC. So, like, I guess the fact that you're exposed to 0xBTC price changes isn't a bad thing, because you were exposed to it anyways, because because you were just going to hold the 0xBTC anyways. But now, at least, now it's an LP token. You're earning all the fees on it, and you're probably even less exposed to the price.
Do you think the fluctuations in
Yeah.
price, due to the erratic volume, would be a plus or a minus? In other words,
Large spikes in price.
like how the price changes significantly because the volume isn't consistent. Like you've got the Mercantile
yeah.
volume that's inflated,
So
and you've got the sporadic trading that could be in big bursts, or it could just be spread out.
yeah, so volatility of price doesn't hurt you at all. What the only thing, the only
benefits you in fees if you're staking, right?
Yeah. The only two times where it matters, where the price paired price matters, if Uniswap, is when you start LP, when you start pooling, and when you end pooling. That's it. It's not like always looking at every slice of the price differential to figure out your essentially your losses or gains. So as long as you take it out at a similar price, 0xBTC to ETH price, then when you put it in, you'll be fine. But also, I've noticed that the amount of fees that you earn, because there's so few people pooling right now, are actually pretty significant, to the point where after a year, the amount you earn in fees is like at least half to what you pooled. Like it's like 50% APY or something. Maybe not that high, but like don't quote me on that, but it's high.
Is that contingent on the amount that they're pooling? Does that affect the percentage, or
Yep.
is it linear?
Exactly. The more people that are pooling, the less you get. But the more people that are trading, the more you get.
So it's just like a mining pool then. Cool. Well, not exactly, but similar.
You're breaking up,
So
Doof.
Yeah, you're a little staticky.
You're coming in choppy, Doof.
Sounds like a network problem.
Oh yeah. So also, I do, or the foundation still has quite a few 0x Bitcoin tokens that were donated to it from very early days. So we should probably use those in promotional material. And like Insight was saying, just a little bit can go a long way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
How many tokens were in there? Like 13,000?
About that. Yeah, let me check.
12, something like 12 or 13. I think it was 14, and then they used them for some a couple thousand of them, I think, for something, right?
We would want to encourage community engagement, though, and not just people who want to post an address and then bail. And then if you ask them any questions, or if you want a conversation, you're not really going to necessarily get anything.
I like the idea of like rewarding for tweeting, or rewarding for writing an article, or rewarding for adding to the documentation material or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just contributing in small ways would be good too.
Yeah, I would say that's probably our weakest link. You know what I mean? This community.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just, this is a community where everybody just does a little bit,
Well, that's the.
Go ahead.
I'm so into coding and building that I'm not into marketing. So like,
you're a great coder. You're a great coder.
Yeah, it's kind of hilariously ironic. You're right. Like it's you'll see like the marketing geniuses.
But
like the Trons of the world.
In a way, it could have been our strongest point, because this community, that way it's grown so organically because of that. It wasn't shit.
Yeah, it attracted the right people for sure. Yeah. Like the people right now that are in this chat channel are more programmatically, or like scientifically focused, which is super cool.
Yeah.
I thought of about the LP pools a lot, and it does seem like a really good deal to pool liquidity there, and I just don't think people realize how
right. Yeah, how advantageous it is. Like, or even using Balancer or whatever. I just show you Uniswap because of the recent hype, and because I like using it personally. But yeah, Balancer too.
Too. I respect them. I just didn't like how they weren't listing us in their search.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Who was?
Etherscan doesn't. We don't come up with an Etherscan search anymore. We used to.
Really?
Notice that too.
It's probably that same parsing bug when you start typing 0x. Like for a while on Uniswap, that was an issue.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
making it so you could enter a contract address, and that would
That
throw it
makes
off.
Someone
sense.
said they're using like the WebJS and not the ETH JS for their search, so it doesn't parse like the strings correctly. Is what
Interesting.
Huh? That's very possible.
I found a lot of times you can
Right.
Twitter DM these projects, and they'll usually get back to you. I mean, it may take them a while, but like Uniswap was really helpful.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're really cool.
And CoinGecko seems pretty good too. I mean, the
Yeah.
limited interactions I've had with them so far.
Yeah, I think this was
Yeah.
We've talked about this before about the issues related to the name. I mean, I love the name. It's like I 100%. I wouldn't want to change it. I think it's
No,
perfect.
we're first Uniswap. I mean, the biggest decentralized platform
Yeah,
with first token listed.
pretty sick.
Yeah, I know some people think I'm talking about this. Somebody else, someone other people was saying it's like a faux pas to put the word Bitcoin in a coin that's any coin, but
Well, that kind of came after the fact, though. The majority of the imitators, I would say, came onto the market after
yeah,
BTC was launched and had actual substantive development behind it, not just a token that's, shoveled onto the
yeah.
market.
The reason was, like I said, is because there was a token called eBTC. They did it first, so don't blame me. And I was just basically rewriting that token to make it
It didn't use
actually
proof of
fit
work, right?
the right. Exactly. It was just a made up thing out of thin air, and they were just banking all the ETH that people were throwing at them for the sale. It was not neutral at all. But and it turned out that they just dissolved and hit the road with all the ETH. Anyways, yeah. So exactly, it's kind of evolved. Try to iterate on that idea, but make it actually follow the model of Bitcoin. So, and then the domain 0x Bitcoin was open, or that org was open. So I was like, let's register it, and that's it.
There may be opportunities going forward with, like, for example, the level 2 stuff to do like you did with kind of like not a rebranding, but like,
To wrap it,
yeah, like have it under basically a different name. You're interacting with the same contract in the end, but
sure.
that can have additional properties. Like anything 0xBTC doesn't do on its own already, or that maybe you want to do a little differently. You could kind of reinterpret it in whatever level 2 contracts you're making. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole thing, but
In my mind, as soon as we have a Uniswap version 2, you would just create the exact same pairs on Matic as you would on the main.
Mainnet.
By the time someone wants one token, they can buy it on the mainnet, or they could buy it on Matic and save all those
Tons of gas. Yeah, like I said, the price would be pegged, so it's the same thing, really.
In fact, they may make more money or better trades on Matic because they won't get front run on the Matic chain yet by years like my balancer pool that kills anyone who buys and sells instantly. If you buy a lot and sell a lot, my pool arbitrages it unless you spread your buys and sells out using 1inch. And it's making me a ton of money off the Uniswap pool because they do that a lot. They'll buy the token and then like they'll want to sell it back an hour later, and then I'll have already arbitraged it the second they buy it. So they lose like way more money than they used to do in that.
Huh.
if you'd like to, could you describe how the balancer pool works a little bit, just like
It works the same
synopsis?
as Uniswap. I just have so much liquidity in there. The slippage is less, so Uniswap slips a lot, and then my pool automatically readjusts it back because my pool doesn't slip as much.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, they're basically
Yeah,
arbitraging
it's basically
into your pool.
Uniswap pool like Sushi was doing. I'm forcing the Uniswap pool to either like pay me lots of money for trading or get more liquidity than me.
Yeah, move over. That's pretty cool.
But it's kind of really making the Uniswap pool even smaller, it seems like. But that just means I could then invest in the Uniswap pool and then get fees off Uniswap now and Balancer. That's what I'm probably going to end up doing. If I throw like 10, 15,000 tokens in right now, I get 33% of Uniswap's fees too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably want it to at least be like some decent percentage of your pool, because then you'll get people on Uniswap trading through random tokens.
I mean, I made $30 in fees today. That's like 300 0x Bitcoin. I couldn't make that in a year mining.
Right.
True.
It's yield farming. It's yield farming.
Like, I mean, that top miner didn't even earn 300 coins today.
Dude.
In all his electricity. I mean, I'm out earning him in coins.
That's
That was
true.
Pretty hilarious, actually.
Wow. It's 4D chess. It's like who's really the smartest in the room.
But the top miner is mining Teller. He's mining 3 coins at once right now. I know that.
Oh.
And the other ones are way more profitable than us, which is usually a good sign for us because then we usually catch up in profitability at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the difficulty should fall as the profitability falls.
I'm guessing the gas price is affecting,
Profitability.
yeah, the minting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is inhibited by that.
Yeah. So as gas prices go up, the difficulty should fall further. Yep. That is correct. It's all part of the. It's all part of the self-healing difficulty adjustment algorithm.
Yeah, if we ever go down to low gas fees, I have a feeling the network's going to spit out blocks so fast.
Yeah, very well may.
We're at 844 million now, and the next drop, which is projected a day and a half from now, is going to be 718 million. So 844 to 719 million.
That's a pretty good drop.
What was the peak was what, 1.2 billion? Like that?
Something like that. Yeah, it might have been a little higher than that.
Yeah. I'm down a lot.
Yeah, the current average reward time is 67 minutes. So, and with I guess we can't really trust the estimated hash rate because that's based on the reward time. So
yeah, it's also very averaged out, I think.
The amount of token holders is exploding up. Like
really,
6,653.
Yeah, it was 5,000.
130 in about a month and a half.
Yeah. Interesting. You guys know what we should do? We should make a stats page for Matic because there's going to be eventually one day there could be a lot of holders of this token, but only on Matic or whatever sidechain.
That's true.
And if we're gonna do promotions, it's probably gonna be on the sidechain, and if we're gonna be rewarding people with it, letting them earn it in different ways, that's how it's gonna be.
There's a number of these level 2 chains, right? So couldn't there be a 0xBTC counterpart on a number of chains?
There's already one.
Oh yeah, there's already one.
I know there's been some experimental ones, like using the XDAI. The XDAI one I remember experimenting with a while back.
Yeah, so that you can. Right now, I know the bridges that support 0xBTC are XDAI and Matic. And,
I'm thinking about adoption-wise, what would be the most advantageous ones for it to be on.
If you send someone 10x Bitcoin to their Ethereum address, but on Matic, they can claim that then?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. If you have an Ethereum account on the mainnet, it's also a Matic account on the Matic net.
Be sending out
same address.
It could already be advertising 0x Bitcoin to people, and they just have to claim it on a side net. And then if we have a pool where they can cash out, they could essentially, if they had enough, put it to the main net.
It says big deal written all over it, if you ask me.
Well, yeah, like if 0x Bitcoin ever went to more
Yeah.
dollar value, then suddenly all these accounts would be empowered, just like the Uniswap airdrop.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's why I'm so excited about this tipping bot for the Discord. You'll be able to just use standard Ethereum addresses, like quote unquote mainnet addresses, and we'll be tipping each other 0xBTC on Matic to that same address.
And I wonder, isn't Reddit supposed to announce their freaking L2 soon? Like they were, I don't know, because like I feel like whoever is the biggest L2, it's gonna be crazy like that. They're
Yeah.
airdrops like just like how Ethereum used to have.
Well, that's the scary part. Let's say
Hopefully they won't be detrimental to the network performance.
right. They probably will be. That's the thing. Like,
But how
Side-
much? Is the
I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. You have a point. Like the side chain that really takes off, it'll start getting bogged down. But we'll see.
Additions to that Reddit post.
That's why side chains are only like maybe one of the solutions, right? We still need sharding, and that's why we're still trying to make sharding.
Not DAI, but Matic is still just Ethereum times 2, which is cool, but not giant.
Right. It's basically like a really, really hardened, like maintained test, like not testnet, but like it's like Ropsten, except if it were actually like really taken seriously, basically.
Yeah.
And you could bridge between that and mainnet. If you want to think of it like that.
Like if Robson had some value.
Yeah.
Lepton has plenty of value, which is not monetary.
It's like, you know what it is? It's like halfway between Ropsten and mainnet. It's like right halfway between.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it proof of stake or is it like trusted? Like, what is it?
I know it's proof
authority
of proof of stake, and they have validators, a validator system, and you can like stake your Matic towards a validator that you like.
Okay.
You can delegate your Matic towards a validator,
Yeah.
or you can be a validator. So there's like delegating. So you don't like have to run a full node to earn some money back. You can just like say, I vouch for this node.
Go live this year for phase 0.
I'm sorry, Ethereum?
The contract goes live this year for
Beacon chain thing?
yeah, Beacon chain.
I think phase 0 is definitely going to happen pretty soon, just because there's so few things that need to happen to make that first phase work.
Someone said soon, like possibly like I heard a rumor I saw someone on Reddit post recently that it might be like this week or something, or like this month.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
we
get on.
I know they have the.
It's gonna be crazy fast.
They have. Isn't the testnet called Medalla or something like that?
I forget. There's a whole bunch of them. They go so freaking fast.
Yeah. There was the Medalla testnet. I think that's still running. And there's a Beacon Chain Explorer.
It's so much harder to set up a node. I don't know if any of you guys tried, but
Yeah.
I got halfway through it and just stopped. It was
really.
It's. I'm sure it'll be streamlined, but the problem is you have to run Gas, and then you also have to run the F2 validator next to Gas, and they need to talk to each other. So it's just like a lot of stuff.
I'm sure they could wrap it in like something like Docker
that's kinda what I'm thinking. And they're also like Geth is kind of showing its age, so like Turbo Geth is around now too.
You gotta repeat that.
Say that again, Tofu. You were breaking up a little bit.
Did anybody hear that?
No, you're breaking up so bad I can't understand, unfortunately.
You're like you're not even audible.
Shoot.
Like your connection's cutting in and out. It's like blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it looks like if you go to beaconscan.com or Ether chain, where the IN is like the domain TLD, so it's beaconche.in. Those are the two websites where you can look at like ETH2 Medalla testnet. That's I've not tried to set up Node. That's really cool that you did.
Yeah, I want to. Apparently, it's super easy to run on a
So-
Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
So I want to write a script that just runs it. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
bootstraps it and gets it going. 'Cause It's
My-
actually not that crazy. It's just getting it.
Okay.
It's a pain. It's, you know, they don't have a lot of instructions.
Yeah.
For it, I guess.
My guess is that it'll basically be like there's a beacon chain coordinating. It's like imagine the ETH mainnet is just the beacon chain, and it's just managing hash, like finalizing the final block hashes on all the side chains, which are the shards. And each side chain or shard is kind of like a Matic side chain, and it's it's submitting its block hashes to the beacon chain every so often, just like Matic submits its block hashes to the Ethereum mainnet every so often. And then, so when you want to bridge assets back and forth, you just have to submit a proof that proves that you've burned those tokens on the chain they're leaving, and the burn transaction hash is found in the proof that when you boil it all down becomes the block hash, or or hash of block hashes. So the Merkle root, basically. So yeah. So basically, that's how it works. It's pretty simple. So really, ETH 2.0, a lot of the concepts are the same as the concept of like ETH mainnet to Matic and back and forth. It's just like in a different architecture. You're using all the same like fundamental theory, cryptographic math theory.
Conceptually, it's not that crazy, but honestly, front-end wise, that sounds like a huge pain.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll write some stuff to make that not as complicated as it's.
you're right. Well, it's gonna be a huge pain to migrate things like dApps and front end, and like MetaMask is gonna be a disaster because it's gonna have to like radically get a rewrite from the ground up, probably.
Well, it has to generate a Merkle proof every time, which means it needs to know
Yeah.
so much about every shard.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Well,
I guess it
yeah.
could just be a lot of connections to stuff.
I think what it'll be is like the clients won't have to store all the data to generate the proofs. It's like there'll be like maybe the nodes will be able to like help you with make those proofs. To
Yeah,
create
I see
stuff.
what you're saying.
But yeah.
Like, I need
yeah.
to prove this thing, and then
But you're right.
it builds it. Yeah. Maybe that's why it's slow to come out. The network you can design the network, but then you still have to design all the tooling for it.
Oh, it's a lot, and what's even more is how much testing you need to do to make sure it's rock solid. Yeah, so because the other issue is like if there is a problem, like if your client drops out, then you can actually get slashed, even though it's not your fault, right? It's not your fault if the code has a bug in it. But
that's kind of what
anyway, you're getting
my
slashed
one
anyway.
thing, from running my own node is.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to stake. If you do a staking pool, that seems a lot more reliable than running your own staking node.
Mm.
If your
Perhaps,
internet goes down and you get your ETH taken away.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there is a lot of leeway. Like, as long as your node's up like 90% of the time or something like that, 95% of the time, you're good.
Okay,
But-
that's actually not as bad as I was thinking it was. Okay.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of leeway there, but still, you gotta kind of be careful. So, anyways, I think that that's pretty good discussion. I'm going to, I guess, if you guys want to contribute to the docs on the updated Xerox Bitcoin page, you can totally. I forgot to mention that. And then I don't know. We should talk more about promotional ideas and layer 2 stuff. What we're doing. I'll keep you updated on what I'm doing. It's exciting.
Yeah, we
But
should talk about that stuff more. I
we
know
should have these more. These
Yeah.
chats more.
we should. How regular can you do them?
Every couple of weeks or every month. And then what time works good for everybody? Like would earlier be better? Like at 8 p.m. EST or something, or 9 p.m. EST, or that's what I'm thinking. We'll do them at like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. EST in the future. Some days.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll just try to schedule it. Yeah, because I'm sure in another 2 weeks or a month, I'll have more to say.
Yeah.
Right now I'm waiting on Matic devs to fix a little thing, and then the tipping bot will be able to work. Although you know what? No, I can make the tipping bot work right now. I just have to write more code, so I have to write more front end for it. So yeah, it'll be cool.
Excellent. I'm gonna mess with the wallet, the Matic wallet, and see if I have any feedback for you.
Okay. Yeah.
You were saying as far as interfacing with Matic, you have to make your own dApp front end. How does it go as far as interacting with it from just like an RPC request?
Yeah, you can do that. You can totally do that
or whatever for a
you can.
function
Oh
call.
yeah. What I meant by that is you have to do everything in your JavaScript code. You have to basically what you're going to want to do is use Matic.js, or you could use like Web3, and for certain things, like for the bridging functions, you have to use Matic.js because you have to be able to do the right proofs to the Matic nodes. But if you're going to do anything, if you're going to write a dApp that's just like doing Solidity stuff, then you can just use Web3 and JS, and you don't have to build a front end yet. You can just interact with the RPC server, and you're good. But my point is, you cannot use their like version of Etherscan and just willy nilly click write contract. You cannot do that, unfortunately.
It's kind of
or at least not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. It's because they have to add a connect button because that's a newer MetaMask feature that was added in the last year.
No, that's
They
not
just
too
have
bad.
not done that yet.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's something people use a lot as like a get out of jail free if the dApp dies or something.
Right. It's not too bad. So another week goes by. I should have the tipping working in the Discord, and I'll be tipping people CXBTC or whatever.
That'll just show up in your MetaMask. That's magical.
Yeah, and then the way it's going to work is it's all going to be inside of a contract. It's all going to be wrapped inside of a contract, so it won't show up in your MetaMask. And the reason why I did it that way is because I want the bot to be paying for all the gas fees in Matic. I don't want each person to have to hold Matic to tip. I want you to just have to have. The bot will tell you your balance. And what's nice about that is that if someone tips you, then you can immediately tip someone else without having to load your account up with Matic.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's why, that's the idea. That's the real key.
Does
awesome.
Matic have value right now?
It's pretty low. I think it's like 2 cents. What's actually funny is that ZeroXBTC costs more than Matic, like per token. But there's also a lot more Matic tokens in circulation, so that's probably why, right? But yeah, it could be a good idea to speculate on that or another sidechain token. I don't know, but I don't know how fair the distribution was or how that kind of stuff. But we'll see.
Yeah,
definitely. Using Uniswap paid off for most people, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. It just keeps going up.
Who would have
I
thought,
can
bro?
stick my own node. That's insane.
So, imagine, I bet a lot of people made more money from the Uniswap than from ZeroXBTC, in general, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Which is indirectly, it was ZeroXBTC that got you it. Probably
Yeah,
for some people,
exactly.
it's
Like how, like that's
doubly
how I got
hilarious.
involved. So
I made money by trading shit tokens on Uniswap, like absolute shit tokens. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy, bro.
It's awesome. I think they just counted like the number of transactions or something like that.
Yeah.
They did.
Awesome.
Ironically, on my accounts where I actually provided liquidity, I got like shit tokens compared to the 400 that it got by default.
Oh,
That's true. Yeah,
Like-
that's true. I noticed that too. But
I got like 403. I'm like, whoa.
I'm just glad that I used my ledger, so I had all my addresses like organized. Because I would have been,
Yeah.
dude, I'd have been searching for IDs. I mean, it would have fucking been.
oh yeah, that
faster.
must be a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Which one did you end up getting?
What do you mean?
Hardware wallet?
Oh, the hardware. Yeah, I got the ledger. I got the
Oh,
new,
okay.
the new ledger. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the ledger's good. The Trezor's a little, it's fallen behind a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of tedious to use, but I feel like it's pretty secure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. They're both pretty good. The ledger interface gets updated a little more, I think.
Yeah. As long as it's safe, though, right? All that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you use MetaMask anyway, so it's not like it looks different.
oh wow! Uniswap's liquidity skyrocketed to all-time high.
Oh, I think I saw that on
Oh,
Twitter.
did it?
Like,
Like-
1.2 billion or something like that.
Dude,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
2
totally.
billion
2
now.
billion.
And it's all in their 4 mining pools. Did you see the liquidity in those top 4 pairs? Look at them.
Yeah, it's so That's so basically they're stealing
Mining away.
Sushi's idea.
Well, yeah, Sushi's liquidity is down to like
But
300 million.
To be fair, Sushi sold their idea. So.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
I missed the whole sushi thing. So
Yeah, I did
somebody
too,
bailed or
actually.
what? Is that what happened? Somebody sold it all?
Sushi was like the Uni token, but
Uh-huh.
they did it first.
Oh, like,
they forked Uniswap, and it was Sushi Swap, and then they had a Sushi token, and then the main dev like sold a whole bunch, and everyone made
Well,
a big deal of it.
You could
and
earn the
it was
Sushi
like-
token by pooling or like staking your LP tokens.
Right.
Yeah. But then
Right.
the main
It's
yeah, but then the
basically
main
what you do.
dev. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you're right. The
So it
main dev made himself own the contract and able to like I don't know, mint himself sushi or something, or like steal the
did he?
sushi somehow.
I thought he just sold like 20%.
How did he-
owned them outright? And
Oh,
then
I'm sorry. No, that's what it was. No, you're right. He just owned them outright. I'm sorry. You're right.
So just
But-
just to clarify, there's
How
not
did he
like
get them?
can you get them by using Uniswap or did you have to use Sushi Swap?
I mean, you can trade for them; they're just a token. But Sushi Swap was like a fork of Uniswap that did everything that Uniswap does, but like trade the Uni token for the Sushi token.
No, what I'm asking is like if I used Uniswap, do I have like sushi tokens unclaimed?
No.
Not like that. Okay. Just making sure.
That would be cool.
No. That'd be interesting.
Generally, if you lost sushi and then didn't find it again for months, that'd be a bad time.
But it's funny because could you imagine like 2 years from now, Uniswap makes another token Uni 2?
It drops it to all the accounts that got 400. Everyone's like looking for their wallets from years and years ago.
Yeah, I saw someone said this must be how Bitcoiners felt when they had all these Bitcoin forks.
Yeah, pretty much. Free money.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait for more of this stuff to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More forks, more airdrops. Let's go.
yeah. It's just the beginning. This feels like a definite bubble, but I also feel like it's still not gonna pop anytime soon.
Yeah, it's not full bull yet.
Yeah.
It's not like full raging bull yet. It's
It's hard to tell where one starts and the next begins.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It is.
I think something is bubbling though in the magma.
Are you still bullish on ETH?
Yeah, I think, but there is a lot of negative press in terms of the scalability, right? So,
Hmm.
yeah, but I think I am bullish on ETH for sure. Let's see, I think the long term, I almost have no doubt. but short
Yeah,
term, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
even if ETH2 doesn't come out, there's going to be a million Matics.
Yeah,
So like that's
exactly.
not ideal, but
Right.
it does scale.
Or there could be like some way to do like a third party kind of like sharding thing, like
Yeah.
a Matic 2.0 or Matic 3.0, where like Matic has shards. You know, like there could be where like, and then like the Ethereum mainnet is like the beacon chain, or like it's just like loaded with this other stuff. I don't know. It's yeah. You could almost you could make like a hodgepodge ETH 2.0 architecture with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny to have a bunch of competing side chains all, basically trying to solve the same problem, but in different ways?
Yeah, but it's going to end up being like one is going to win because of the usability. Like no one's going to want to like keep track of coins on 10 different side chains and like remember, oh, well, did I have this on that or this on that?
They'll somehow make it seamless.
Yeah. It's going to be consolidated. Everything consolidates eventually. Maybe there will be competing like pretty average traffic side chains for a while, but like one will become the winner.
Hey, Toast, this isn't L2 related, but what are the hardware required or hardware and software requirements for running a Lava Relay?
Oh,
like could it be done on a phone or something?
Like a meta transaction relay? Yes, absolutely. Because it's doing no proof of work. It doesn't have to store like any data. It literally needs to store like a megabyte or something. Well, you have to
probably use Infura, right? Like it doesn't have to run.
And they can use Infura. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could run a full node on it, but you don't have to. Yeah, so very, very little. You could definitely have like a Raspberry Pi one. And that is actually an amazing point. I definitely need to look at doing Lava Relays on Matic because like not only does the token automatically support Matic transactions, but like gas fees are so low. The reason why I gave up on Lava token theory or like Lava protocol is because gas fees got so high that it didn't make sense anymore. But now that we're on layer 2, it's changed the game. So I'll probably reboot that Lava protocol and just throw it on Matic.
Great.
It probably just requires slight modifications, not even that much. Yeah, I never really finished so like right now when you go to relay a transaction, you just have to pick the particular relay that you want to use. I haven't really made it more like distributed or peer-to-peer. But you know what else? We don't have to use Lava because I guess they're talking about, the Matic devs were talking about how gas station network is already like on Matic or like to some degree. And so what we could also just do is figure out how to use that technology, meta transaction through gas station network.
And they do like the meta transaction.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there'll be some negatives to doing that compared to using Lava Protocol. But it's basically the same exact thing.
Is it opengsn.org?
Yeah. And exactly. And I remember there was like, if you guys recall, there was a competition on what's it called? Coin. What the hell is it called? Gitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a competition on Gitcoin for a meta transaction thing, and I submitted Lava Protocol, and Gas Station Network submitted their thing. Gas Station Network ended up winning, but I feel like Lava Protocol was at least in there for the, it was in the running. It definitely was like kind of pretty good, pretty decent.
Did anybody ever contact you?
No. No one ever contacted me, but I mean, Gas Station Network was, I think, made by multiple people and has more investment, and it has more docs and like more support for, I think, doing transactions just besides just sending value. I think they can just have some support for like calling arbitrary contracts, which I actually did research and did do some of that work and got some of it figured out. Where you can like pull apart the bytes and like arrays and stuff like that in Solidity and like stuff them back in to do like arbitrary function calls with like multiple parameters. But I think they just fleshed it out a lot more,
Yeah.
So
yeah, it just looks like they wrote API specs between all the pieces, but it does actually look like Lava Token. Looking at their like architecture,
it probably is. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's the same exact type stuff. Yep.
Well, that's cool. So you could legit just do transactions on Matic with 0x Bitcoin.
Hell yeah. Yep,
That
yep,
is
yep.
cool.
So we'll want to do that one day for sure. And then that way, we could update the tipping bot. Yeah, like we were saying,
Yeah,
use
to do
Matic
that.
transactions
Yeah.
that way. Yeah. Yep. All makes
Nobody would
sense.
ever need Matic.
Right, for sure. Yep. There'd just be some relay that has a balance of Matic that gets paid in tokens to spend the Matic. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Uh-huh.
I recorded this, so I'll probably put it up on my YouTube, but you could put it up on yours as well if you want.
Okay. Perfect. And then Craig recorded it, looks
Yep.
like, so that's
Cool.
good too. You can get the link from that.
Seems to be
So-
working.
Yeah, so we'll do this again in a couple weeks or a month or something like that.
Glad you're back.
Yeah, glad we're all back. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good to be. It's good that I have things to do now. Good to have layer 2, basically. Not layer. Yeah, good to have side chains now.
Yeah.
That's really why I'm back.
It's important to stay busy.
Yeah. Oh, wait, never stop learning.
That right.
And with that, I'm gonna get off and work on this tipping bot more. But yeah, thanks everyone. Good night.
All right, fellas.
All
chat.
right. Good luck. Nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, guys.
Yep. Good night, everyone. Good talk.